Well, Promises to Kids is helping thousands of foster kids here in San Diego County overcome the difficulties of their past and grow into healthy and successful adults. And now they are looking for volunteers to help change these lives for the better. Here to talk more about this is Promises to Kids CEO Tanya Tarosian and also mentor Joanie Marcus. Good to see the two of you. Thanks for coming
Likewise.
on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Tanya, why don't you start by telling us what Promises to Kids is all about and how you got involved?
Yeah, so we're almost 40 years old as an organization, and we support children locally, so we are a locally based nonprofit, and our goal really is to fill the gaps that are left behind for foster care. So for us, we see that really as providing adult guidance, love, support, connecting individuals who are in foster care with their brothers and sisters, and making sure that we can help them get on a path to change their own lives for the future. So we do that through our Guardian Scholars program, which is through education, scholarships, and mentoring, and making sure that they have the tools they need to succeed, graduate from college, get a degree, and then break the cycle of child abuse with their own families.
I read that most foster kids move about 5 times between homes before they're 18.
Yes, it's really difficult. So they're facing the trauma that brought them into foster care, and then repeated moves really just teaches them that they don't have anyone to count on and that there's nobody in their corner or stability. And so that's where mentoring is critical to these young people.
Well, let's talk to Joanie about mentoring, because you won the Outstanding Mentoring for the Year award, right?
Yes, it was
so
quite an honor.
congratulations.
So much.
Why did you decide to get into mentoring?
Well, I've been volunteering my whole life for various causes, starting with being a big sister way back in college, and in fact I'm still in touch with my little sister. And I found out about it through a friend of mine when I first moved to San Diego a couple of years ago, and went to a meeting, and I met someone who was a guest speaker who was a foster youth, and he was so inspirational. I was like, oh my gosh, how can I not do this? And it's so simple.
What do you find are the most challenging things that you come across with foster children? What are the difficulties that they're having?
Well, I only work one-to-one with one lovely young woman, and the challenge at the time was that she was very shy and not very forthcoming, and soon, little by little, she blossomed, and we built a trust factor, as you can imagine, and today she's almost not recognizable as the same person, from being a shy person with no voice to someone with a voice and very opinionated. So it's wonderful.
Terrific.
Yes.
Tanya, about 80% of foster kids have issues with mental health and depression, which, you know, you would imagine, sure, it's got to be one of the toughest things to go through.
It's really difficult because they're trying to overcome the severe abuse that led them to come into care, and then coupled by feelings sometimes of not being heard or not that they matter, and really that they don't have a say over their future. And so all of that compounds, and there are 80% that do have, the most common is depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's really difficult for them to let down their guard and trust somebody. And so we know that's the way that you can make a lifelong impact.
Is there a way to just kind of summarize how the whole foster system works? From are these children put up for adoption and then they kind of get moved through the system?
Yeah, so the county of San Diego here would determine whether or not a child needs protection. So they would come into foster care. And then once they're in foster care, they live at a foster family, and then based on that, they either would have a plan to try to support the birth family to reunify, and if that's not possible, they would stay in foster care until either an adoptive family was available or they would age out. And the majority of students that we serve who are in high school, by that time, there's not a relative available. The likelihood they're going to be adopted is small as a teen, and so we're seeing people who have grown up in foster care, and so they have a lot of issues and concerns. So we're trying to get to them before they end up as an adult with nobody.
Joanie, I would imagine as a mentor, you're probably gaining some benefit too, I mean, right? And the other mentors, tell me what it's like to be a mentor and, and how it makes you feel.
It's wonderful. I mean, it's a simple concept. Cause and effect comes into play here. Unfortunately, I didn't have great luck with my own children, and so this is a great way where these kids absolutely want and need the help and support, and what you put in clearly here is what you get out, and it's so rewarding. It really is. And these are kids by no fault of their own have ended up in foster care and for poor choices that their birth families have made. And talk about true victims. These kids aren't in foster care because they chose to be.
So you're looking for more volunteers,
Yes.
more mentors. What can people do if they're watching and they want to maybe check it out?
They should visit our website, which is promises2kids.org, and there's a link there to volunteer, or they can call our office and say that they want to volunteer. It's critical because we want to match every single youth in our Guardian Scholars Program with a mentor, because we know that that's what works. We have a 90% success rate last year with our students compared to almost an 8% national. Over the course of 16 years, we're at an 85% success rate. So we know it's the mentor that makes the difference.
Sure.
So we need 20. We need them by August, and it would be wonderful to have somebody.
What is the commitment of the volunteer?
We ask them to commit for a minimum of 1 academic year, which is 10 months, and it's approximately 10 hours a month, meeting one-to-one with the youth at least one time, hopefully twice, but if you can't make the second time in person or they can't, it's a phone call, it's a text, it's just being there and showing up.
Just one time within the year?
One time a month
that
they meet.
Once a month.
Right.
Okay, sure. Or more.
Or more, yes.
Sure.
We have some that are meeting all the time.
Right,
it just
right.
depends.
And it's one-to-one. You find that
Yes.
that's the best way, as opposed to say you have like several children.
Yes,
Correct.
Yeah.
and it's all fun. We
I
do
bet it
fun
is.
things every time.
Oh, for sure.
Different
Right. Yeah, this is-
neighborhoods, fun things, expose them to things they've never
Right.
done before, and it's so exciting to see them get turned on by new
Thanks so much.
experiences.
Joanie, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Tanya, thanks for
Yeah.
coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Okay,
Yes,
good luck.
thank
I hope
you.
you get the amount of volunteers that you're looking for.
Yes, I
do too.
appreciate it. Yes.
Fantastic.